Hello Creative Cutter friends, welcome to another project video. For this project I'm going to be creating a Cricut cut on this paper clip. I guess it's a clothespin, not a paper clip. But what I've done is I've used some metallic paint and I used this folk art. It's like a metallic Christmas green is the actual color, $4.91. And then once I painted it, it had a lot of nice sparkle, but I wanted to give it just a little bit more. So I poured some lime green glitter, it's the Doodlebug glitter, all over it, and then I painted another coat over top. I did, just paint the inside also, and so that's now nice and dry. And these look great on your desk, just kind of sitting there to hold big papers, or what I have on my desk doing is holding calendars sometimes, or projects, or a card or something special. So I've done that part ahead of time, and I'm going to set that aside for a minute. Now I'm going to be using Simply Charmed, and this cartridge is so cute. I mean, for those of you that have Doodle Charms, this is similar to Doodle Charms. It's kind of the more updated version. On page 32 and 33 there's this cute leprechaun and the pot of gold, and today I'm going to just be showing you the pot of gold project, and I'll be doing the leprechaun at another time. But the reason I want to show you the pot of gold is because I'm going to do that in vinyl, but rather than just use any vinyl, we're going to be using this product that I now offer on my website, and it's called, I'll get it in here, this sparkly vinyl. I think it's called Metal Flake vinyl. So if you can see just how gorgeous the color is on this vinyl. Now it does come in 4 colors, and I'm afraid I've been using a lot of my pink recently, but there's the pink, and here's the green, which we're going to be using some of, and the red, which you've seen me use at Christmas time on my little Minnie Mouse canister. If you've watched that project, that's the red that I used for Minnie's dress. And here is a really beautiful blue. It's kind of like a light blue, almost aqua blue. Those 4 colors I'm offering as a set, and if you go to my shop site, you'll see that you'll receive 2 of each color, so 2 12 by 12 pieces of the pink, 2 of the green, 2 of the red, and 2 of the blue, just in time for Easter. These would look fabulous on a lot of Easter projects, but we're going to do a little St. Patty's Day one. So if you have any questions on that, feel free to use the contact me form. I will sell that only as a group, because I find that once you have one color, it's just easier to have all of them in case you need it for other things. So let me put that aside. Now, like I said, I did cut the one on page 33. This is the little, let's see if I can zoom in here. This is the pot of gold with the rainbow coming out of it. Now, I didn't do the little face, obviously, because I'm going to do other things with it, but I did the shift version. This is button 6 for those of you that number your cartridges. So I did the shift of all of the layers, and you will need layers 1, 2, and 3. I did not do layer 4, but if you were going to do this in paper and you wanted to give it some dimension, you might want to do layer 4. So for the base piece, I cut that out twice, once in chipboard, so this is just medium weight chipboard, and once in green, and here's the star metal flake. I call it Starfire because that's what it looks like to me, but it is called Metal Flake vinyl. So there's the green. I use there is no Metal Flake yellow. There is a gold, which I'm going to use, but I just use regular yellow vinyl, and the red, and I use black vinyl for the pot, and I cut a portion of that yellow rainbow in the gold that I also have. I have not put it on my site yet, but I can if anybody wants to order that, and I'll have a special giveaway regarding this gold vinyl for my followers, so stay tuned for that. But I cut just a portion of it in that gold. And then I also have available to me, because I buy the vinyl directly from the manufacturer, I get these see-through, sorry about that noise, it's see-through transparency tape. So rather than get the Cricut product with the white tape that comes like this, oops, there goes on my vinyl, that comes like this, and when you peel that off, I'm just going to peel a corner here, you can see that that's kind of a white opaque color. And if you were to lay your vinyl under that, you can see how you can barely tell the vinyl's under there. With this transparent stuff, you see how you can see right through. So if you're going to be layering vinyl, this transparent stuff is fantastic because it allows you to line things up properly. So, and it's reusable. This Cricut transfer tape is not reusable. Once you use it once, you can see that it kind of curls up and then loses its stick. So the first step I'm going to do is cut a piece big enough to pick up this green Starfire vinyl, and I'm going to place that over the top, and you can see it covers the image, and then I'm going to flip it over. A lot of people would start burnishing from the front, but I prefer to burnish from the back. That friction action is what helps you get it transferred. And then you do a left to right wiggle motion. For those of you that are familiar with vinyl, you know about the wiggling. And then I'm going to lay that over my little pot of gold here. Now, it doesn't matter if the bottom is lined up perfectly. The part of this green vinyl that matters is the rainbow, because we're going to cover up the base piece. So once that's on there, I'm going to burnish once again. And you can see if this had not been transparent, that would have just been horrible to try and get on there. Alright, doesn't that look gorgeous? So now we're going to go for our next layer, and I've stuck to the colors that are in the book, so you can see the red goes on the far left and the yellow in the middle. So I'm actually going to start with the yellow next. And like I said, this vinyl transfer tape is reusable, so I'm going to place it on the front and again burnish from the back. And if it doesn't quite lift off, then you just give it a couple more strokes there, rubbing it so you have enough friction to lift off. Okay, so this is my this is my center piece, so I'm just going to come and center that on the tip. Make sure I leave myself enough of the green and place that right there. And again, this time you're going to burnish from the front, and it's a left to right motion. And the last piece is the red. Now this Starfire or metal flake vinyl, whatever you want to call it, is a little bit thicker than regular vinyl. So rather than the settings of 333 on the pressure, speed, and blade, you are going to instead do, now that is going to go right there, but before I do that real quick, I'm going to place the gold piece. I'm going to set that aside. Come grab one more little piece here, and this comes on a roll. I haven't decided yet. It comes in $100 rolls, which of course is much too expensive to sell to people, but I may break that down and offer it at a smaller cost to everybody else. Now on this coin section here that I want to do, I am going to remove that portion of the rainbow, and I just used an X-Acto knife to do that. So rather than clouds, I want that to look like gold coins. So I'm going to put that piece in first before I put my red in. So now that I can see how to line that up. And I hope I'm doing this in frame. I have a new camera and it's been really fun to use. I think I've got that upside down, but let me come closer. Alright, so there's a good look at that. And I'm going to get my red back now. And if you have any questions on how to do vinyl or on the steps, I do teach Cricut classes, but if you're not in my area, I do have like a little cheat sheet on vinyl on my Cricut Tips tab at the top of my website. And that kind of goes over these steps a little more slowly than I'm going over them right now to help you with your vinyl projects. Okay, so doesn't that rainbow look lovely? And if I hold that up, do you see how beautiful that is? Okay, so my last step is of course to get my little black kettle here. And again, you can see how many times I'm using this vinyl transfer tape to pick up my pieces of vinyl. So I can usually do one big piece for my entire vinyl project. And now lining this up should be really easy, and I just want to, whoops, if it sticks a little, just carefully roll it back. And I'm going to kind of cover that bottom piece there of my gold. Now anywhere that the chipboard shows through on this, I am going to ink in black. Let me start with my legs, that might be a little easier. There we go. That is easier. Sometimes you got to start with the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to rub that, and I know that's a little cloudy, but you can see where I'm looking to line that up. And then you're just going to roll that black. I've got a couple air bubbles there, so I'm just going to smooth those out to the edge. And I'm actually going to put a sentiment on that, on this little pot of gold here. So for now, I'm just going to leave that as it is. And you can see the little legs and things are, you can see the raw chipboard there. Now you can either use some ink, or you just want to take your X-Acto knife and just cut some of those pieces off. And I'll show you the cleaned up version in just a minute. But there is the pot of gold, just to give you an idea of where I'm going with this project. Let me see if I can back out here for a sec. Okay, get more of that in frame. I'm going to take, now obviously I want to keep this top half to hold whatever card or project, and I've got a surprise for the top that I'll show you later. But this little pot of gold is going to get attached right there. Now this is just going to sit on my desk. No one's going to see the back, but if you're worried about that, you want to cut just another piece to cover up the back. Or you can ink it, or use your Copics. But that little pot of gold is going to go right there. So I'm going to dress that up a little bit and share step 1 on the website, so you can see how I've cleaned this up and the sentiment that I'm going to put there. And then my next video, probably on Saturday, will show what I'm going to do with the top and the little leprechaun. So I hope you'll tune back in, and thanks for watching. Okay, one more time before I complete this last little bit and show you the finished pot of gold with the rainbow. I want to show you my bow maker one more time. Again, it's this block that comes with 2 pegs that rest inside of the block itself. When you want to make small bows, you want to choose 2 peg holes that are close to each other. It could be any 2. You want to grab a piece of ribbon that's at least 12 inches. You can see this one's 14. And I'm going to make just a really tiny bow, really quick and easy with the bow maker. So let me get around my camera here. What you want to do is start with it in front of the pegs, and you're going to hold on to it with your right hand, and you can leave yourself as much of a tail as you want. You're going to wrap around through the back and come through the front and up and around both pieces of ribbon that are in the center there. So once you've done that, you're going to move to the middle, and I like to switch hands at this point. So I'm going to grab the top piece with my right, the bottom piece with my left, and that's just so I can make a regular loop here in the middle like I would tying my shoes. And so you're just going to wiggle, and I like to wiggle just to find the good center point, and then I'm going to pull super tight just like that. I'm going to pull that off, and you have a perfect bow every time. Now the reason I'm showing you the bow maker, and here's the finished pot of gold. Now I've got some stickles there for the coins, and it's still pretty wet, so I'm not going to attach this yet. But I'm going to put this bow here on this little spot right there. And for this little piece, I've taken another length of that and just wrapped it around the back and stuck it with a glue dot. For the little dash lines, I've used a Sharpie paint pen just to add that detail in. And if you let it dry, it won't rub off of the vinyl. So I'm going to finish that up, glue the whole thing to my big clip here, and you'll see that picture on the website. Thanks for watching.